You might notice that my voice is a little nasal, and that is because there is a noise cancellation feature in its default setting. And now it's turned off. Now you get the pure sound of my voice with just a little bit of the background noise. So fast forward to the next day, I just got my new mount for the JD950 right here that I'm connecting with the Thron Max Zoom scissor arm that I've got here. Anyways, let's move over to the build quality of this microphone. This microphone is made of plastic all around, and the mesh is made of metal. Within this mesh, you would get a sponge that works as its pop filter. It does a good job at rejecting the plosives. So, great job there, JD950 makers, whoever you are. Anyways, as for the cable is generic, but the cable feels very good because it's very flexible. Very rarely do I ever get cables like this. Now let's talk about its gain range. Right now, I have the volume at 3 out of 30. Very low, 3 out of 30, but I am speaking 1 inch away from the microphone. If I speak about 5 inches, 4 inches away from the microphone, this is what it would sound like at 3 out of 30. This is the default volume and it's quite loud through my monitor, so I'm gonna have to go far away. As you've noticed, you'll hear a bit of my AC, and that's what we do not like. If you're streaming, it's best to isolate your voice. There you go. This is the maximum volume that you can get with this microphone, but you would risk it hearing quite a bit more of the background noise. Now, as for its features, the first button you get here is the button that controls your lighting. The next button that also acts as a knob is for your mic gain. This button, with one quick press, mutes your microphone. One long press turns off or on its noise cancellation feature. The other two knobs are quite self-explanatory, but first let's talk about the volume knob. This is only for your monitoring, alright? It doesn't affect the playback volume of your computer. And the next knob, of course, for echo. Now, I've got the echo turned at about 25%. This is what it would sound like. Let's turn it up to about 50%, there you go, and up to 100%. As I said a while ago, this is a cardioid microphone. In other words, it's not gonna pick up the sound from behind it very well. The sound will be a bit warped, unlike you speaking in front. Right now, I have the microphone on my desk with noise cancellation turned off. I'm gonna type on my keyboard with red switches. I have a keyboard with red. Now I'm speaking into the microphone with the noise cancellation feature turned on. I want to type something. I want to type on my keyboard. Now let's talk about its pros and cons. So the first pro that we got here is that it's got dedicated knobs for both mic volume and monitoring function. In other words, if I don't want to monitor my voice, I have the option to turn it off. Very good. Next is it's got a noise cancellation feature that I personally do not like, but it's very handy, I think, for some of you guys. Next is that the mic volume is reflected through your monitors. Although you have a separate volume for mic monitoring, your mic gain will also be reflected through your monitor, so you have an idea of how loud you are getting. And the last is that you don't need a foam cap for this microphone, but I would still use a foam cap, I believe, because of the light. I'm not very comfortable with the light that it's bringing out. There's no option for you to turn it off. Now, that is the first con we'll be talking about. So, as for the cons, you cannot turn off the lights. The next con here is that the mute right here on top is quite unresponsive. You see, it took me 3 taps just to mute it. And the last is that the mount isn't very versatile. I had to buy myself a separate mount so that I could attach it to my boom arm or my scissor arm. Anyways, with those cons, if the cons aren't a deal breaker for you, I think this microphone passes. To me, it does. The question is, can you use this for vocals? I tried to use it for vocals, and yes, you may, but just make sure you're not speaking this close. You're speaking at maybe at least 6 inches away from the microphone. and you're in a very quiet room to pick up your voice very purely and not much of the background noise. I know I didn't talk about all the information you're looking for in this review, so use the comment section down below. I'll do my best to respond to your inquiries. This is Biboyharanero. I'll see you guys next time.